If there's a place that I can go back again right now, it is a place called Ine, a small town located around 15 km from Amano Hashidate. Hi, welcome back again to my video, and this time, I will still talk about my trip to Japan this year. This video is very special because it is one of the videos that I wanted to show you guys the most. I've been wanting to visit this small city ever since my friend told me about how beautiful it is. So what is this place? Well, Ine is basically a small city that has a rich history as a fishing village. One of the most famous aspects of the city is Funaya, or translated as boat house. So these traditional houses is very common in Ine, and this area still has around 200 funayas. The first floor of this house is used as a garage for boats, and the second floor is actually a residential place. Some of these funayas also provide accommodation. And there's also a sightseeing boat that we can ride to see Ine Bay from up close. And if you're lucky, a flock of seagulls will follow the boat. I went to Ine early in the morning to fit my itinerary by taking the first bus to Ine at 7:23 from Amano Hashidate station. The ride took about 1 hour. You can easily view the schedule on Google Map or near the bus stop. I really wish it was a sunny day, but all I saw was thick clouds everywhere. Then I arrived at Ine bus stop, close to the bay where we could see many boat houses. It was so beautiful because of the birds flying, and actually the cloudy weather didn't bother me at all. It has its own charm. I still got my Piccolo 500D from 2 days ago, which is a Kodak Vision 500D from Soleil at Lune, and I started shooting. At that time, my head was wrapped in confusion, deciding what to shoot first. I wanted to take photos of the boathouse, but I also didn't want to lose moments of the birds flying above me. So a couple of my photos here were so half-assly taken, and turned out not that good. Ine is also called the most beautiful village in Japan, and I can already see why. It is also called Kyoto by the sea, since Ine is also part of Kyoto's northern region and close to the sea. I don't know. Perhaps because it's still early in the morning, but there's no activity and it's so quiet. To be honest, from this location, the boathouse is not really appealing. But I quite like this photo. It really captures what kind of life that the people here have gone through. There's the house, the boat that was parked near the house, and a pickup truck in the back. Pickup trucks are very common vehicle used by people living in the countryside to bring their supplies. And now, my photo of the seagull is starting to look more interesting, and more on that later. In this photo specifically, I love the silhouette and the shape. And here's the Funaya from a closer look. There, I had to walk for about 1.5 kilometers to catch the first schedule of the sightseeing boat in Ine, which was at 9 AM. During my way there, I also took some photos. The neighboring area was so beautiful and I almost didn't see other people along the way. It felt like walking through a time machine and I was in Japan during the old days. I love this photo. The position of the vending machine and the car really make a nice composition. And the fact that the vending machine color matches with the mini Liberty statue on the back also make it look good. I also love this photo. The Toto sign, The front half of the car, it makes me wonder what kind of shop it is. Do they sell toilets or maybe repair one? I don't know. You might probably know why I took this photo. I like the tree. The shape is so unique. Like this photo. I think what I like about it is the fact that the motorcycle on the left matches the color of the house overall. Moreover, the saturated color from Kodak Vision 500T really looks good on this. The little detail on the moss also makes this photo better. I don't know much about color theory, but I think these are all very good color combination. And this is the last photo of Piccolo 500T. Now, I use Kodak Vision 200T, one of the best films to be used during a cloudy day. In between houses, there are some small alleys that can make you see straight to the sea. And in one of those alleys at the end of it, I saw this scene. It is a good scene. The car is perfectly parked in front of the house, and the small island in the back also creates such a nice background. Here's another photo of seagulls. Some of them were swimming like a ducks. I like hearing the sound of them, but hearing it for long enough, it gets annoying. Once again, it is such a nice village. I was glad that I got to see Ine from up close in the short period of time that I had at that time. Previous 3 photo, I think they were a little bit overexposed, but in this photo, I got it right as you can see from the sea. It was so blue and the color was nice. I like the detail of the 2 birds swimming in the middle. Then I continue to walk. I like this photo. Finally, I saw some people. I think they were fishing, but I don't know. I like everything about it. From the tree branch in the foreground, everything that was lying on the ground where the 2 people stand, and then the orange color in the back especially, it is such a nice touch. The island on the left is also good, and finally the mountains on the back. I like it so much. Then, realizing I didn't have much time to catch the first boat, I ran as fast as I could, and luckily from afar I saw the boat staff willing to wait for me. The ticket price cost around 1200 yen, and then I bought the ticket. And right at 9 AM, I entered the boat, and the boat was sailing immediately. And then, at this exact moment, there was too much information going inside my head, and it was so beautiful, and I didn't have enough time to process any of it. I just took so many photos with my right hand like this, and at the same time with my left hand, I recorded the footage. And along the ride, I didn't think too much about it. Like, I was smiling because of the view, and then I took the photos with my right hand, and then on my left hand, I was so busy recording the footage. It was too much for me. But I think it worked, and here's how it goes. When I arrived, there were already a flock of seagulls waiting to be fed. Luckily, there was one woman who prepared a snack to bait the birds. I think without her, there won't be this many birds flying near the boat. I didn't know how I did it, but I managed to record this while photographing the birds with my Nikon F3. It was truly a magnificent view, and I didn't want to miss it, neither on the video nor the photo. And here's the result. This exact photo is the one I like the most from Kodak Vision 200T. I managed to capture the moment at the right time. I think they were fighting over who gets the snack. I also like the fact that the bird in the middle is the one which has the sharpest image and is not blurry. I'm so proud of this photo actually, and might be thinking of making a print of this photo. For your information, all of these photos were shot exclusively with Nikon Series E 50mm and 1.8 focal length lens. I think it was the perfect lens for this, especially when the birds were closing in at the boat. I can get their detail closer, but still have wide enough room to fit Ine Bay in the background. Like this photo, you can still get better detail, but at the same time you can fit many other subjects inside the frame. Finally, a sharp image. It was not bad. Then I moved to the second floor of the boat to get a better look. And as expected, it was better, although it rained a bit. And this is my last photo from 200T. Not long after that, the rain got heavier, so we were forced to move to the first floor. This time, I used my last roll of Agfa City Precisa, which during the time was one of the cheapest slide film. Also, as you can see, most of the tourists here were dominated by old people. So since there was no bird inside, I took some photos of the people there. The film I saw is 100 and I rated it as it is. From the result, this film actually looks a little like Kodak Ektachrome, but with more purple shade. But I think it's due to the film that has already expired. But I like it. This is my favorite slide film beside Ektachrome. I like this photo. The contrast is great and I think the exposure was correct, although losing some details in the shadow area, but it was still great to look at. But you can see in this photo, the outside is a little bit overexposed, while the inside was under. The rain was short and I moved back to the second floor. And not long after that, the birds started to come back again. I like this one, just a classic back shot of people. No matter how overused it is, it will always look good. And my bird photo is starting to look better with my third film of the day. I'm amazed actually. There were many error factors to be accounted for. It was a slide film, an expired one to be exact. I shot a moving subject with fast speed. The weather was cloudy and focusing was hard on a manual focus camera, but it somehow worked. I'm really glad about it. I like it so much. The bird is perfectly in the middle. The exposure was correct and the photo looks sharp. I didn't remember how I got it, but I just pressed the shutter when I felt like it was the right time. And not long after that, more birds were coming in. I remembered that I was so nervous trying to compose because they were moving so fast and their movement was uncertain. But screw it, I started to shoot without thinking much at the end. I doubted the result at first, but after getting the scan back, it really surprised the hell out of me. I'm really glad I caught these photos with a slide film, because I can look at the slide and can be satisfied with the result. All those doubts that I had before, gone just like that. It was so beautiful, and this place indeed so magical. Definitely an experience I won't forget. This is my number 2 favorite photo from Ine. I love a composition where the subject is located right in the middle and in sync with each other. This photo fits that criteria. With their speed, it might be hard to get a photo like this if I was told to capture it again. So I think I was lucky that I got this photo. The right moment at the right time. I like this one. But I like this one even more. This is my #1 most favorite photo from this trip. It is such a majestic view. Maybe the only thing that I don't like is the cable, but the more I look at it, the more I don't mind about it. I like how all the tree birds were in focus and not blurred at all. This photo is also works because it was cloudy. I bet if I photograph it during the sunny day, there are 2 chances that might happen. First, the sky will be overexposed, but the birds will properly exposed, which might not look good, I think. And secondly, the sky was okay, but the bird will be underexposed, which is not good either. Either way, this single photo makes my trip to Ine really worth it. Yeah, you can look from my face how happy I am to be there. After that boat trip, I stayed at the port for a while to photograph other seagulls. This time I used Day of 250D from Soleil et Lune, which is based on Kodak Vision 250D. I rarely use Kodak Vision 250D, but I guess I like some of the results from this roll. This photo feels like it came from a street photography perspective. I like it. I know that Soleil et Lune used the freshest Kodak Vision for their day of film, so I can get the best 250D tone on my photo. The orange and yellow tone is really nice to look at actually. This last photo, I don't know why, I think it feels like an accidental photo that I took, but it looked great. After that, I waited for my bus to go back to Amano Hashidate. When I waited for the bus, I tried to process everything. I moved so fast to take the photos here and there, and didn't have enough time to process everything that I saw before. And it just finally occurred to me of what just happened after I sat on the bench. I looked at the footage in my camera, and it was indeed beautiful. And I slept on my way back, smiling and hoping that the memories from Ine will last forever in the back of my mind. And here's the thing, the trip was actually went so fast, like I spent my time in Ine for about only an hour. But there were so many things happening and it felt like I spent hours there. I even managed to waste 4 rolls of film during that 1 hour. There's actually a reason why I only spent 1 hour there. You see, in my itinerary, I had to go to Tottori in the afternoon, which is located so far from Amano Hashidate. I didn't want to arrive at night at Tottori, so I had to schedule it properly. I woke up at 5:30 for packing. At 6:50, I checked out the hotel but leaving my luggage there because I wanted to visit Ine first. I walked for about 900 meters to Amano Hashidate station, and I waited there for the first bus going to Ine at 7:23 AM. Then I arrived at Ine at 8:20 and took some photos there. I wanted to ride the first sightseeing boat that was available on the schedule, which was at 9 AM, but it is located 2 bus stops away on the way back. There was no buses available matching that time, so I had to walk back for about 1.5 kilometers. I had to run for a bit at the end, but luckily I was arrived at 8:58. I managed to secure the ticket because the staff was kind enough to wait for me. The boat ride lasted for 30 minutes and I waited at the bus stop near the attraction. And by 9:36, I was already inside the bus on the way back to Amano Hashidate station. I arrived at 10:30, but I still had time until 11:55 for my train to Tottori. And within that time frame, I managed to go to Amano Hashidate viewland to see this view and managed to took some photos. And then going back to the hotel and going back again to the station with 2 big luggage by walking. Finally, I arrived at 11:35, still had 20 minutes left, but more on this later on the next video. So that's about it about my trip to Ine. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think on the comment and see you on my next video.